the aforementioned Mike Randle, FTN Network Chief Content Officer. Encourage you to check out the content over at FTN, at Randle Rant on Twitter. Went through some of the college basketball plays. Let's transition to the NFL. As we do, takeaways from last night, Mike, that was two big dogs, or one huge dog and one pretty good priced dog, of course, with the Giants winning at home and the Titans beating the Dolphins, catching 13.5 in historic fashion. What'd you take away from the two matchups there?
Patrick, we always talk about how you love the Jersey and tri-state area attitude. I mean, 300 chicken cutlets here for Tommy DeVito's family, passing them out like pancakes in the middle of the Meadowlands parking lot. Listen, DeVito, they believe in him. Brian Dable does a good job. There was a lot of buzz about him not getting along with Wink Martindale. That seems to have gone by the wayside. They are very live, and they're very live this week against the Saints. In the other game, it's just, guys, at this point in the season, you have to give me a reason to take the favorite and lay the points. Tennessee needs it. Mike Vrabel, good coach. All you need is something weird to happen. Tyreek Hill goes out of the game. Here's Derrick Henry. They scored 2 touchdowns there in the last 2 minutes. We saw teams down by 2 touchdowns. We're 0-767 or something like that coming into that matchup. So the dogs are barking. Teams are really close. Parity in the NFL. Very hard to win late in the year when so much is on the line for these teams.
Mike, let's
beautiful. Go ahead, Amal.
No, I was just going to say, let's get into some of your bets. Got some great plays. I want to start with a team that we've been down on here, and that Mike Tomlin's done a great job with the Pittsburgh Steelers, but you like them catching 2.5 coming up this week.
Yeah, it's a classic Tomlin spot, and I get it. It's very hard to go back to them, guys, after seeing the disaster that they had against Arizona and New England, both of teams combined for a 6-20 record this season. But that's what I'm doing it here. This is what Tomlin does. He is a superb 16-6 against the spread with 4 outright wins straight in December and January. So he's been hot. He's on the road. He's an underdog. They need this win. They're still the 6th seed in the AFC. I know it doesn't look good, but I think they're going against a Colts team that may be a little overinflated. Still no Jonathan Taylor. I trust TJ Watt and company to get it done here. Steelers as an underdog with Tomlin. This is their spot. We're barking and going with them to win it outright.
Mike, on these types of plays, when you're getting less than a field goal, are you more likely to take a money line here, or are you still going to take the 2.5 in a spot like this?
No, I'll go money line, but you can also look to tease it because you get that 2.5, you get the 6, it goes up to 8.5. Those are the magic numbers with the teasers, 3 and 7, and we're getting it even 8. So those are situations I like. I was able to hit one last week where you just tease up through those key numbers and you go from there. So absolutely, that's something I'm looking at.
Well, here's a good example. You said at this point you're not interested in laying points. So Kansas City at New England, you're going to take the points. You're going to take the 9.5 with the Patriots here.
Yeah, the Patriots have been great in certain ways on defense at limiting the run, which, again, we don't know the status of Isaiah Pacheco. And Belichick is still a great defensive coach. Say whatever you want about him. So this should be a low-scoring game, points at a premium. I don't trust the Chiefs. I haven't all year. Kadarius Toney was definitely offsides. Mahomes has got to stop trying like he's going after the ref. He has to be held back. What are you going to do, Patrick, when you get to the ref? You're going to hit him? Because you'll be suspended for 5 games. So the Chiefs right now, really frustrated. They struggle on offense. Travis Kelce not producing big games, only has 2 games over 100 receiving yards here. Give me Belichick at home. No one wants to do it with the points in a low-scoring game.
Mike, when you look around the rest of the offense for the Kansas City Chiefs, is it just the wide receivers that are a concern to you? What is going on with them? They just seem like they're a miss.
Yeah, some of the things we have to decide, guys, when we end the preseason, what we see that matters and what doesn't. I remember hearing all about Sky Moore in the preseason. He's been on the side of a milk carton for basically 15 weeks here. Rashee Rice has been solid for them, but you're creeping up. The defense is really playing them tight. Marcus Valdes-Scantling is dropping balls left and right, so they're making them beat them, and they can't do it. They can't separate and get open. So Travis Kelce is being limited. The offense is struggling. Mahomes is getting frustrated, and without Isaiah Pacheco, who's the angriest runner I've ever seen, you really can't play smash-mouth football either. So they're left with a team that really doesn't have an identity, a legendary Hall of Fame quarterback, and a bunch of guys outside of Kelce who are trying to figure out how good they are. That's disjointed. We're relying on that Chiefs defense, which is starting to show warts right now as we get to the end of the year.
Patrick, Pacheco's angry because he's from Jersey.
Is that why? He reminds me of R.I.P. He reminds me of Marion Barber. Remember Barber used to run angry.
Good one, yes.
Barber used to run pretty angry as well. Chargers, Vegas, Thursday, so 2 days from now. You're going to go over, got a 33.5, 34 here.
Yeah, model this year, FTN model for sides is hitting at a 65% rate when you have a double-digit edge on a total, which is what we have in this game. We have a whopping 18.6% edge on the over in this matchup, over 34, 33.5, wherever you can get it. Last week, for comparison, we talked about this. Our biggest edge here at FTN was the Cowboys and the Eagles under 52, and of course that hit. I think both teams are going to be able to score. You have a Raiders team coming off of 0 points. You have a Charger team with Easton Stick at quarterback. People are going to be hammering the under. I think both teams can move the ball. The Chargers defense has been a joke all season. So give me Aiden O'Connell, Devontae Adams, Austin Eckler, Keenan Allen, who I think will play. And I think we get over this number. As I said, FTN model, 18.6% edge on the over in this matchup.
Wow.
Mike, I want to go to a total with, I slightly disagree with you on, but I like your play here. You've got the Bengals and the Vikings 38.5. Kind of give me your reasoning on why you like this game over. Looks like it's probably going to be Nick Mullins against Jake Browning.
That's the exact reason. Nick Mullins versus Jake Browning, our FTN model, 17.6% edge, so right behind the one we just talked about. They have been able to move the ball here. You're getting creative with the Bengals offense. Chase Brown is becoming a part of the offense. He can take a screen. Mixon is becoming more active. You still have Jamar Chase. T. Higgins is now healthy. And on the other side with the Vikings, they're going to have to score to put points up here. The Bengals defense, I don't believe. So I think the Vikings will be able to move it, even with Nick Mullins, who's a veteran. You saw Joe Flacco go out there and throw for 3 touchdowns. Nick Mullins can't move the ball with those weapons. I think you're going to see points here. Our model loves it, and I do as well.
Okay, Dallas at Buffalo, and we're talking totals here. I got a 50.5 on the board right now, and you're going to go under the 50.5 with the Bills-Cowboys.
Yeah, 15.5% edge, Patrick. That's a 66.7% probability of winning. We're going under in this matchup. Cowboys defense is legit. This is 2 really good teams with a lot on the line for both of them. Cowboys want to continue to win the division and be the 1 seed, and the Bills are absolutely desperate. In those situations, games tend to skew low scoring. It's going to be in the cold in Buffalo. Here comes Dallas, big explosive offense. I think both defenses show up. I think it's a very close game. I think people start to get cautious here. We don't want Josh Allen turning the ball over, so you've seen Buffalo dial back some of their big shots over the last couple weeks. Stephon Diggs has been taken out of games. Micah Parsons going to be disrupting. We like the under 50.5 here.
Mike, I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit. Obviously, San Francisco is a front runner for many, many people. But if you're looking at a futures bet right now, who's a team or two that you would consider that you think genuinely could either get to the Super Bowl and maybe you can hedge the other side or could win it?
Yeah, we're looking for a hot team. So we've seen the Packers do this before with Aaron Rodgers. And you saw them lose to the Giants, so everyone's off them. But I think this is the perfect time, Amal, where you can have someone who is a 5 or 6 seed get hot and move forward. That team could have been Houston. C.J. Stroud hurt, Tank Dell out, Nico Collins hurt, so that's a lot there. But that's the team you're looking at. One of these teams in the wild card who can all of a sudden get hot and move forward. Why not the Packers? Secondary strong. Maybe Aaron Jones comes back. Great trio of wide receivers. Jordan Love is underrated. And now they're coming off a loss to Tommy Cutlets. Now is the time to buy, sure.
Tommy Cutlets. Let's go. Questions at quarterback for Houston. They're traveling to Tennessee. Just picked up a huge win, obviously, Tennessee. They're lane 2, hosting Houston. Where are you at here, Mike?
Yeah, you can't take Houston if it's Davis Mills. I can't do it. Not with Derrick Henry. Remember, Derrick Henry in the cold, Derrick Henry late in the year. Derrick Henry against the Texans as a career has always been fantastic. DeAndre Hopkins is doing well. Will Levis is starting to get hot after having some struggles there a little bit. Mike Vrabel still one of the best coaches in the NFL, and this is a Tennessee defense. And yes, their secondary can be beat, but Davis Mills is not attacking their secondary, and they can put pressure on the quarterback. They can beat Miami and that offense, but they can't hold down the Texans with Davis Mills potentially. I'll take Tennessee minus the 2.
Patrick, I love this call by Mike on this one. What a momentum spot for Tennessee. You get a great, incredible, improbable win on the road. You mentioned C.J. Stroud probably not likely to go here for Tennessee. For Houston. Great opportunity for the Titans at home.
Yeah, no doubt. Is it cold? Is it cold in Jersey yet, Randle? How you guys feeling there?
Oh, it's freezing, Patrick. It's absolutely freezing. That's why that cutlet spread was even more impressive by the DeVito family, because it was not warm, let me tell you.
Who cooked all that food? Is my question. How'd they get all that food?
I think his family, so unless somebody sponsored it, but it was packed. It's crazy. Did you see his agent too? I mean, talk about
the best. The vibes were great. I'm sorry. If you can't get into that, you're in a bad mood, because that was just fun to watch. I loved it. FTN, You heard all the angles and advantages there. Make sure you go check it out. Mike Randle, at Randle Rant on Twitter. We'll talk to you next week, Mike. Great to see you again.
Always, guys. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Go to VSiN.com/subscribe to become a VSiN Pro subscriber today.